We know that one of the catchphrases, one of the buzzwords, if you will, in education is inclusion, right? We have to be inclusive environments. We need to make sure that the students, whether they have a learning deficit or some other social emotional need, or whatever it might be, they shouldn't feel left out. They shouldn't feel ostracized. They shouldn't be on the periphery. They should be somebody who everybody else incorporates into, and you should try to do that with your programming as much as you can. And certainly as head of school, if anyone came to me and said, so-and-so is picking on me, I'm feeling bullied, I'm feeling excluded, whatever it was, certainly I made every effort to have that child feel as included as possible. And in our environment, being a, quote, out-of-town day school, we didn't have many alternative options, so it was really, really important. And yet, this week's parsha, as well as next week's parsha, really focus on a different approach, so to speak. And that is, if you look at all the shvatim, and there are many elements in which the shvatim are presented to us. There's the numbering, there's the positioning, there's the, there are different elements to it. If you go through all the aspects of the Nesim with the Karbanos, we see the shvatim listed again and again and again in a variety of different ways. And yet there's one obvious omission. And that omission is very clear, but of course they get their own space, so to speak, not only in the Parsha, but also in terms of the Machana, and that is Shevet Levi. And Shevet Levi is set aside from everybody else. And it doesn't seem to be very inclusive. In fact, Aaron Cohen came and he was very distressed that he couldn't even bring a carbon. And 𝘮𝘯𝘪 had to placate him, so to speak, with the menorah. But what was it exactly about Shevet Levi? Why were they kept outside? Why were they replaced, in effect, by the two sons of Yosef, right? Ephraim and Menashe more or less replaced them. And so the idea, the Rambam talks about it, and the Rambam says because Shevet Levi had a very, very special function. They weren't just any other Shevet. I'll quote for you from the Rambam, and he says, "V'lama lo zacha Levi b'nachlas Eretz Yisrael 𝘗𝘗𝘵𝑧." Why didn't they have a portion in the settling of the land, in the 𝘵𝘰𝘳𝘭𝘥, which would, I guess, be the taking of the spoils of the land, 𝘮𝑚𝑒chav with their brothers, 𝘵𝘩𝘰𝘮𝑚𝑒 𝘠𝑗 Hashem l'sharso, 𝘠𝘯𝑥 derachav hayishar u'mishpatav tzadikim l'ravim. They had a very special task. Their job was to be different, and to be different in a very positive way, because they needed to be the teachers of Klal Yisrael. They needed to be the ones to set a higher standard for everybody to live up to. And because of that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu needed to make them different. He needed to make them not only in terms of their task, the only ones who actually are provided with a job, but he also needed to give them a very special place to live, and never should they be fully incorporated within the Shvatim, because when you have a job like that, you need to maintain a higher standard. And that standard has to be something which is understood and looked at and respected at all times. Yet, the Rambam continues, and the Rambam says as follows, that even though this was the gift, so to speak, or the nachla of Shevet Levi, below Shevet Levi b'lvad, ela kol ish v'ish mikol ba'ya olam, asher nadva rucha osa ve'evino midato lehevdil, lamo lefnei Hashem l'sharso, la'avdil l'deya as Hashem v'alach yashar, etc. Everybody who wishes, who wants to undertake that path, who wants to become, in their own personal lives, a member of Shevet Levi, you have the ability to do so, not in a literal sense. You can't be Ovid in the 𝘮𝑚𝑖kdash. You can't get the gifts of Shevet Levi, but you could live up to that standard. You could aspire to something greater. You're not boxed in by the fact that you're from a different Shevet, that you can't be that person or one of those people who are going to create a type of lifestyle that others look up to, that others are inspired by, and that others take their lead from. And that is what the Rambam is telling us.